creating depth, man, and that's what we try to do at Northside. Number one, because we just want them cats to be ready. The next man, you got to step in, be ready.
Already be ready, yeah.
And I know you're gonna drop. There's gonna be some drop off, and stuff like that. I mean, you got a 4-star recruited by everybody, and all of a sudden you got kids that never played before having to step up in those positions. Man, it's just tough.
Yeah, that's man, that's huge, bro. Yeah. I mean, that's huge, but man, that great voice y'all hearing right now is the great voice of Coach Mr. Don Hudson. Social Headache Podcast, I am upon you right now. This show is big for me because, I mean, look at that shirt he got on. We represent the Eagles.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But, I mean, now we were talking about you saying filling the shoes of your number one safety. Mm-hmm. But how is it coaching up everybody besides that number one person? Like, how is it coaching more than just the star per se?
Man, it's your job. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where whoever the kids out there, those are the ones who matter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You get a big time player like Ricardo, and he gets injured, and we were talking earlier about trying to fill his shoes. Mm-hmm. You can't necessarily fill them shoes. You know what I mean? But you can fill that void, and when you're playing a program like Northside, man, it's next man up. We got to be ready to roll. You know what I mean? And every day, you coaching everybody up to that standard. You know, you trying to make everybody those Ricardo Jones. You're trying to make everybody that player. True. And sometimes the blessing is the mom and daddy give them that gift, and some of them mom and dad don't give them those gifts. So you got to do your part in preparation.
How you feel about that though? Like parents forcing their kids to play and move, to play sports when they kid might not have it.
Right. And I think some of that just comes to the lessons you learn in that sport. You know what I mean? The lessons you learn being a team player, the lessons you learn with working hard, the lessons you learn, with life. Because it's tough out there, bro. It's 4 o'clock, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 100 degrees. And you're trying to figure out, man, am I going to live? Yeah. Nevertheless,
football one of them sports too where where everybody ain't got to play.
Right.
Everybody not going to play.
Yeah, and I think some of that just comes from just what that parent truly wants.
Do y'all still get parents on the high school level still trying to talk to y'all like, hey man, why my kid ain't getting in?
Absolutely.
For real?
Absolutely, bro.
I thought that stopped at the middle school level with us.
No, sir. No, sir. Man, we get Chad Alligood gets those calls on a daily basis.
Dang, that still go on in high school. That's crazy.
And not just because, that player's supposed to play or that player should be playing because he's athletic, he's talented. But you got parents that, of course, they're living vicariously through their children.
I was just about to say that.
They may have been a good player or whatever the case may be, or their uncle or their brother, somebody was a good player and they think it's supposed to happen with their son. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But we tell the God honest truth, bro. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it.
People don't like that truth, though.
No, they don't. And I'll tell them, I said, listen, I want to build your son up. I want to make your son a better player, whatever the case may be. Yeah. But this is not the stage for that,
And then they want to talk to you after games, too, though.
Right. They want to talk to you.
Hot and heated. You like, try to tell me about your son.
Right.
Did you just see what happened?
Exactly. And we got that 24-hour rule where we like, listen, you mad, I may be mad. Yeah. It's not the time to talk about that. Tomorrow, let's talk about it. And I pull that film out, and I show them why their child not playing. You know what I mean?
And they still, but that's going too far though. Really, to show them film and stuff, because they really don't deserve that.
They don't, man. But you gotta make it plain for them.
They said they're the best coaches that sit in the stands.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say. They get in the heat of that battle, man. It's tough. You get it that next day. Of course, being on Facebook and social media. We should have did this and we should have did this and we should have did that. Guys, they don't realize our job depends on those teenagers. And those wins and losses sometimes. Yeah. And it does. Don't think for 1 second we trying to lose a game. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, we
Do you think that's crazy that y'all job depend on wins and losses in high school?
Y'all
ain't millionaires now. I mean, well, unless y'all are millionaires. I don't know. I'm saying, but why is that, though? Like, why you think that's?
And I think just some people just got caught up in the sport. They caught up in the all the other different things in it, But they don't think about the hours we spend doing what we do. They don't think about all the other things we do for their sons. You know what I mean? It's all about what they see on Friday nights or Thursdays during the JV ninth grade game. It's all about what was my son able or not able to do in a light of me to show what my son had done. You know, it's a bragging rights, those kind of things. My son didn't play, but my homeboy son played. Yeah. And I'm pissed off, and I gotta see what's wrong with this. You know what I mean? But they didn't see that kid came to me, and I tutored him for math for 2 hours.
Well, speaking of that, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, speaking on that level right there, what you're saying. Do you think it's necessary that you do all that leadership stuff during the week with somebody else's kids? Like, you know, I know y'all do the make them dress up and stuff like that. Is that necessary?
I think it is.
Why is that? Why you think that's necessary?
If you're doing what we do, if you're a coach or a teacher or that person, if you strictly there for that job, you wrong. You dead wrong. I teach.
Some of them are now.
They are. I promise you they are.
Some of them just sitting there for that paycheck.
And that's the problem with education. That's the problem with coaching. Any of those things. You know, some are there. Yeah. Because they're gonna get weekends off. They're gonna get vacation time off. They're gonna get all their summers off, and they still gonna get that same paycheck. You know what I mean? But you got those who grind for the kids. I teach and coach because it gives me an extra opportunity to spend time with those kids that may not have what my kids have. I'm gonna be there for them every step of the way. You know, I tell anybody I'd kill a brick for them.
Is it frustrating though? Like when it's
super frustrating.
Is it frustrating that they start hanging around the wrong people?
Right.
And you done did Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with them. Now Thursday they might get ISS or something.
Yeah, or not even that. You can do all that stuff for them, man, and you'll get cussed out by them. I mean, flat to your face. You know what I mean? And not being a real man, you're gonna sit there and like, everything I done did for you, you want to do this and that. Yeah. I say, man, that kid fresh. There's something going on with that kid. For that kid to know what I've done for them, and still want to, you know, come at you that way or whatever the case may be, then you try to figure that out. But because that's what's really real.
Do you put that same pressure on your own kids?
I
know they play football too.
I don't. I try not to. I try not to be coach and dad. I'd rather just be dad.
How you separate that though?
It's tough, man. It's super tough. You know, if I see something that's not being addressed as a coach, I become the coach. If somebody coaching them up,
that's stepping on somebody's toes though.
I don't care nothing about that because at the end of the day, that's my child. You know what I mean? And I haven't had that situation a lot because I allow those guys to coach them. You know, I allow myself to learn if that guy can coach just by dealing with my child.
But do you tell your kid behind the scenes when your kid come home like, hey, listen,
never.
I know coach told you to do, but hey, man, do this, do the other way.
I don't. I'll say
it's gonna make it better for
because I know I maybe get that same stuff when those kids go home to their parents. You know what I mean? My sons, I'll say, listen, man, what happened here? Why didn't you do this here, do this here, do this there? And they may say, you know, coach, that's what coach told me to do. We got to do this, this, and that. All right, so here's my perspective. Let's look at it this way. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. Number one, them guys I coach with are my friends. Number two, everybody that they may not be. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for 30 years, so the knowledge I may have may be in addition to what the coach is coaching. You know what I mean? I look at it.
You've been doing it 30 years.
Yes, sir.
Who was your leader? Who was you when you was 9th grade, 10th grade?
Man,
11th?
You talk about, you know, growing up here in Warner Robins, man. Number one, Stan Gann was huge for me.
Yep.
You know, I come in from Tabor. He's the head coach. He's a brand new head coach. I'm in the 10th grade. This is his first year as a head coach over there, coming from Warner Robins. And the dude's character, how he talked to us, how he pushed us, how he did all those things.
He's white.
Yes, sir.
So the skin color didn't have nothing to do with it?
Absolutely nothing to do with it. Terry Gallagher coached me in the secondary.
Okay, yep.
Also, Northside grad. I mean, those guys lit into me. But on the other side of it, man, that village I had was phenomenal. I had a great father.
Your dad, okay.
My dad, played at Jackson State side by side with Walter Payton.
Dang.
You know what I mean? And
Okay.
he made another decision to do some other different things. I also had an older brother that played at Northside that helped do some of that stuff with, Matt.
Yeah.
Then you go into the Clarence Jacksons. You go into the Jackie Garments. You go into the Willie Hills.
Yeah, you dropping some names now.
You go into all those guys, man, that they see you and the potential that you have. And the first thing they say, hey, man, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Even Arthur Lee Harris. I'm going to play a baseball game. Then I'll go back with Arthur Lee Harris. He got me going playing semi-pro baseball with grown men. You know, those kind of guys always put those things into you.
Was it different? Is it different? Like, you speaking all them great names right there. But were those guys going against the Stan Gans, Gallagher, like Willie Hill now, were they going against them like, hey, man, hey, Don, don't listen to that person. Listen
Not at all, man.
Is that different nowadays?
Totally different. Totally different. You got so many different entities on all of this, man. You got some guys are in it for you to become better.
Okay.
You got some guys are in it for you to help them become better.
I see what you're saying.
And then you got, you just got some people it don't even matter. It's for selfish reasons. You know what I mean? Those guys did that with everybody. Mr. Wally Draper, straight down the street on Vicky Drive.
Yeah.
All of us is in that cul-de-sac playing basketball.
Yeah.
All of us, Coach Drake, those guys was about us being great, reaching our potential, staying out of trouble. And it made a difference. I mean, it was never that. We missing that, man. It's like losing, the Luther Vandrosses, the Aretha Franklins. Who's replacing those people? That's the same thing that's kind of going on in our neighborhood, man. We're not replacing those guys. We're not replacing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate. And then you look at yourself, am I the one who's supposed to be replacing them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do that go along with all this AAU stuff? How you feel about the AAU stuff? Like, is that in the same line of, are we losing because of AAU?
I think you have to look at that on an individual basis. You got some AAU, you talk about AAU basketball, you talk about travel football, you talk about all those different things, man. And it all depends on that individual.
Yeah.
You got some guys their whole purpose is, I'm going to find the best players that I can find to go beat these people so I can be recognized.
See, I don't like AAU, man.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And I got some instances where I don't. I mean, some of those guys, myself, I think an AAU coach is teaching fundamental basketball to help that child become a better basketball player.
But don't them players, when they get out the AAU team, when they go back to their regular school, their regular team, it ain't the AAU team, so they have some kind of anger towards their regular teammates.
Oh, absolutely.
Because their teammates ain't, AAU is built up of...
Ain't no doubt about it. I mean, you got some AAU teams that do it the right way. They're training those kids, they doing all this post, and then they taking it with them.
Yeah.
And then you got some of those AAU coaches or AAU players, they live in the dream, or, they get caught up in that trap where my AAU coach says, and then if you're doing something different from the AAU coach, but they've found success with the AAU coach and they're not finding that same success with you, then they want to try to choose sides on that.
But AAU versus rec.
Right.
Are both of those stunting the growth, or are they helping? Or is it just AAU just helping? Like, because that's the battle.
But here's the thing with that, man, with rec and AAU, you got some kids that's playing rec and playing AAU. You know what I mean? That kid may be trying to just get better. You know what I mean? You got some kids that playing rec because they can't play AAU.
Yeah.
They just don't have the talent, or whatever the case may be.
The money kick in too, right?
But yeah. But here's the thing. If that AAU coach says that kid can help me, they're going to find a way to make sure the money right. You know what I mean? They'll foot the bill, they'll find a sponsor, whatever the case may be. But some of that stuff is not happening for all kids.
I'm about to say that ain't good, man.
But I know it, but it ain't happening for all kids. That kid over there can't afford to play either. But that kid ain't really going to help me. So I ain't going to foot that bill for him. It's like, hey, man, you might can't just play for this team. That's the problem I have with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you may be the deciding factor in that child's life, period, irregardless of what sport it is. And people don't see it that way. That's the only way I see it.
Yeah.
That's the only way I see it. It's one of those things where I need to spend time with this child, man. You know what I mean? And you lose on that. You lose on that. You lose on those kids lose on it.
Yeah.
Because now, now
What
it's a
age?
self-esteem thing.
What age should they start AAU?
If it's a training aspect of it, as soon as you can pick that ball up and dribble it.
So 5, 6.
5, 6. My son's been playing travel football and travel baseball since they were 4.
Travel football, travel baseball.
Well, when they were 4 years old, Dante Robinson started his foundation in Athens where we were. I dove into it because I love the kid. I coached the kid. He wanted to do something for the community.
But let me ask you something about that though. But
even with that, let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
My sons were 4. They were playing against 6-year-olds. I don't want them at quarterback. Get them on that line. Make them learn how to block and tackle.
To learn that.
And then let's get to it. I want that dad was like, I play quarterback. My son's a quarterback. Let him go. No, I want him to learn the game. You know what I mean? And everybody ain't like that. Everybody, they may start a team.
I like that. I like that what you're saying. I like that what you're saying. But do that make it where? How can I put this? What if that person don't make it? Do you feel like that was that was a waste?
No.
What if them kids? Like, I ain't just saying your kid. I'm just saying what if the kids that they go all the way through, but then when they get to high school after the AAU stops, it's like they lost and they're like, well, I don't think I'm gonna make it to the next level anyway.
Right.
Because now I got guys that's busting my ass now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and we teaching the wrong lessons. We teaching the wrong lesson. Some of them kids gonna go out there and they play football that 1 or 2 years and they're gonna realize this ain't for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna have those parents that's gonna continue to push them because they want them to continue to go because they, like I said, vicariously living their life through them. You know what I mean? And if my sons came up to me right now and said, Dad, I'm good. I don't want to play anymore.
You sure you straight with that?
That's gonna hurt my heart. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's gonna hurt my heart. But I'm not gonna
Don't do it, Zion.
I'm not gonna force them to do. I'm not gonna force them to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also teach them this ain't your plan A.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Education first, right?
Yes, sir. This is not your plan A. This your plan B. If this is something you want to do, let's work hard at it to take it to the highest level I can possibly take it.
Yeah.
But this is not the end of the world if it does not happen. And I think that's what happens with some of these people where their parents is living they seeing it. They looking at the Steve Nelsons, they looking at the Casey Haywards, they looking at all those guys that are playing pro ball.
Yeah. And
they automatically think my kid can do that too to help me live that kind of lifestyle.
Now, you speaking of the Casey Hayward, Steven Nelson, Marquez Callaway, all them names coming, Willie Reed, all them names. But why do we get a lot of guys that get college scholarships from our city.
Right.
Why they don't make it? Why they go one semester and be out of college?
Right.
Is that
their foundation shaky, bro?
Okay.
Their foundation shaky. Period.
But why that foundation got to affect when they get off to school?
I mean, because a lot of times in life, man, you do what you used to. You may not have that proper support that's gonna make you keep fighting through that stuff, man.
Do that? You know what I mean, like, does that suck to you as a coach? Like, you be like, hey, I know you went to college. Like, why are you back already?
Right.
Do you ever question them?
I cuss them out, cuz.
Okay.
I mean, I'm keeping it real with them.
Yeah.
Why are you home right now?
Yeah.
Why are you at home? You know what I mean? And it's one of those things, man. They just, right now today, man, these kids are so caught up on the offer. I need that. What does that really mean, though?
What does that mean, though? What does an offer mean?
It means absolutely nothing. If somebody's speaking on you saying, we're interested in you coming to our university and possibly playing ball because of what we see and what we like. There's so many different levels of offers. You know what I mean? There's some committal offers where that person really wants you to come play ball for them.
Yeah.
And then there are some offers where the people that we got to play against are interested in you.
Yeah.
Why are they interested in you? well, here's this offer until I find out.
I mean, I don't want to get you in trouble now, but don't say nothing that you don't want to say. But have you started seeing some grimy stuff, some illegal things going on with those offers?
That stuff has always been that way. It ain't. It's just like everything back in the day.
Podcast is heard by millions of people.
It would still happen. You see what I'm saying? Here's the thing, man. Is some of the stuff that's happening today, it's been happening. It's just not brought to light due to social media, due to all this different stuff like that, man. But these colleges have always tried to do something to try to get that kid to come to their school. You know what I mean? Yeah. Has it been illegal? Yes. Has it been on the up and up? Yes. It depends on the character of the program.
What college?
I played football at Georgia Southern, full football scholarship.
Georgia Southern.
Left Georgia Southern, went to Northside, went to Georgia Southern. Man, I had a ball. Dang. Number one, close to home.
Yeah.
Won 2 back-to-back national championships.
Yeah.
It's 1 AA. Why didn't you go to South Carolina? Why didn't you go to these bigger schools?
Yeah.
They weren't for me. Georgia Southern was for me. It was a teacher's college. I was in Future Teachers of America in high school. I knew this was something I wanted to do. So why not go to that institution that's going to prepare me for what I want to do and play ball and for free? You know what I mean? So that was my thing. And it gave me an opportunity to play in the next level.
Yeah.
That didn't work out. I came straight on. I went straight to graduated, went straight to teaching and coaching, and I ain't looked back since.
So you did. But you did get a.
Man, I worked out. I worked out for 3 different teams and picked up by Detroit and never made it to preseason. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. Yeah, it's tough. Now, and it's tough because you see those guys that you worked out with, and you're better than them.
You play corner or
I played everywhere. At Georgia Southern, I moved every year. And that may have stemmed from, there was no stability to what I could really do.
Yeah.
And
True.
everything in the NFL is based on data. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, man. And but I use that talent to be able to live like I'm living now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dang. Got an interesting story, man.
Yeah, man.
You got an interesting
it's
story.
One of those. It's one of those. That's probably my biggest testimony to these young men, man. I was pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And here it is. You don't make it. Yeah. But this is what I did instead. You know what I mean?
But see, it's so different now because they might look at it like, well, you didn't make it, so why I got to listen to you?
Oh yeah, you get that all the time. You get that all the time. You tell your story. You're in the middle of telling your testimony or your story, and you tell them that you worked out for a team before the preseason even started for a couple of weeks. They were like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Look at the data and those numbers." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at the data and those numbers, but you also look at some of those cats and they say, "This dude did that." Let me try to figure out that blueprint. You know what I'm saying? They don't shun the part that you only did it for a small amount of time. They looked at it like he was almost there. Let me see what got him to that point. Then I can see what after. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you got to be able to just continue to go and grow from. And some of those kids jump on it. Some of those kids don't.
Do these kids? I know you said foundation. Do you think these kids need a mom and daddy or a grandma? Or because I read about my grandma and my mom. I'm saying, do these kids need both people just in their life, or can they listen to coaches and be like, okay, I'm gonna take advice from coach and this and that? Because once you leave and get in your car and go home away from that kid,
right?
Like, how does that? Like, what is that?
This is how I look at. This is how I look at it. This is how I try to tell them, because everything, the kids look and understand things financial, right? So me and my wife live in this house.
Yeah,
we live in this house better if she and I both are bringing financial income into this house.
Yeah.
If both of my sons that are teenagers, they also have jobs and they bring money into this house, that's even more money into this house. My daughter gets of age, she start bringing money into the house. That's 5 people bringing money into this house. So this house is going to be a little bit more comfortable as far as us living in it.
Yeah.
I think that's the same thing when you look at this. It doesn't necessarily have to be the mother or father, but it has to be a large amount of stakeholders that's going to vouch for you in order for you to be that better person. period. It's unfortunate that some of them don't have that dad, or they may not have that mom, and that one person who's getting it done,
Yeah.
they're doing the best that they can to get it done. And if that child is buying into what they're saying, that child is going to also get it done.
Yeah.
If another person comes in, may it be the coach, may it be a teacher, may it be a mentor from the community, there needs to be a solid foundation built by many other people that's going to create that for them.
Is there a lot of pressure on you to be such a good leader like what you are and a good mentor? Is there a lot of pressure? Like you come home, tell your wife, like, man, these kids, they like look up to me. They need me to. Like, do that make you be like, I got to walk straight out, or I got to do this, I got to do this? Like,
I just feel that's what God called me to do. And that's why I choose his profession.
Yeah.
And she, and even my wife, I got a beautiful wife. She's a perfect coach's wife.
yeah,
She got her own thing. You know what I mean? You know, she worked at the University of Georgia, and she wasn't a coach's wife at the time. We were dating, and she saw some of the stuff I was doing, and she was like, "Why you got to do that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?" Eventually, she got into education, and now she has to do the same thing for some of these young females or whatever, even young males. She has to be that voice to them as well, and she understood that. You know what I mean? So the pressure it's never been that pressure. The struggle is real sometimes because of that.
Do it break your heart? Like I know you just had one of your ex-players die recently.
Crushes you.
Could you see stuff like that happening before, like when they get ready to graduate? Is it already in the back of your head, like, man, that person, I ain't saying him, just saying that person ain't got a solid foundation, what you're talking about, and you can kind of see like, okay, man, I know once he graduate, get out of my sight, he ain't on the football field no more, he living dangerous.
And you see it all the time.
Dang.
You see it with those kids that do have that mother and father.
Dang.
You see that, just when those kids get away from their parents, man, they make decisions, and it may be the lack of the teaching, or maybe they just getting the influence from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's an individual influence that they're getting, and
Dang.
you can see it.
Yeah.
And you try to be that firewall to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
And it does it really hurt when it happens? It does, bro. It tears you apart.
Yeah.
And you try to sit here and say, man, I swear I try to save every single one of them. I try to save them all. You know what I mean? And it gets tough, but the toughest part happens when that kid gets it now.
Yeah.
And they're going on the right path. They're doing the right thing. But because of the association of something that they happened in their past, they suffer from it because of that. You know, it's like we talk about the crab in the barrel where they keep trying to pull them back and stuff like that, and cats fighting to get out of there. And, that's the part that hurts you the most because they're trying to do something. You know what I mean?
And it is black youth. I mean, you saying the crab in the barrel. You got to call it how it is. That's a stereotype. Some of us black people, we do have a crab in the barrel mentality.
Man, we killing our own community, bro. We are, man. I mean, in several different ways. Not having that, I want somebody, if you see my child in the streets doing something wrong, get on their head, bro. I mean, ain't no hesitation. It ain't one of those, don't you touch my baby ever, no.
That's different
get
now.
on mine.
That's so different.
Put him in the car
man.
and bring him to the crib. I don't care. And that's not happening anymore. We do not have a village, man.
I think we scared though, bro.
We are scared, man. We scared of the kids for one. Because you don't know if as soon as I say something to him, he's going to pull out a gun and try to kill me and shoot me.
Yeah.
You scared of that.
And they got to sit there and be fighting a teenager. And you like,
that and then, what if his parents come up and, they
on the rah-rah
so
too.
many things, man. It's disturbing.
Yeah.
And that's why we got to keep pushing hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to keep pushing hard in that, man. And it's going to take all of us.
Man, let's get into the juicy stuff, man.
Let's get it.
Juicy. Now, you was at a school, I'm just going to say, you was at Hudson County for a long time. Hudson County High School. Now you got that N on your shirt now. Why you left Hudson County? And why did you move your kids too?
Here's my biggest thing was, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go way back and tell the
Don't
story.
say nothing to get you in trouble now.
Nah, I'm good on
But this
that.
podcast listened to by millions of people. Millions.
I'm gonna go way back. When I
Tell me why, though.
when I was away, man, I was back in Athens. I got a call every year to come back home. You know what I mean? Just come back home. And deep in my heart, I knew eventually I was coming back home. When I came back home, I was coming back to go back to Northside. You know, Mark Ira and I did some talking. I was going to go back and and coach with him at Thompson, and you know, eventually get back into the game. But at that moment, man, you know, I've been a head coach. You know, I've been an assistant athletic director. I was losing my family. You know, we decided to come back home and be around my wife's father was still here. My brothers and my aunts and uncles were here. And it was just, it was time to come back home. You know what I mean? And coming back, it was a situation where my contract was I needed to sign my contract where I was. I was in Newton County at the time. I needed to sign that contract. And I come back home and I interviewed with everybody. You know, Jan Melnick was at Northside Middle. I had a lot of classmates and stuff. And, you know, but Mark, I was like, man, I need you at Thompson. We need you back on this side of town. And I was specifically coming back for that. And the situation just happened. I ended up at Fagan Mill with Jesse Davis, and loved every second of it. I've always been a middle school teacher. Loved middle school. And just that 1 year,
Middle school was bad, though.
man, they straddling the fence for real.
Man, it's really 7th grade. Lord have mercy.
All of them.
Them boys.
All of them. So I went there, and then Zion and DJ were playing travel football with the Raiders, and Ryan Crawford's son was playing with Zion.
Okay.
And then we just talking after practice and stuff like that. They said, man, we got to get back. We got to get you back to coaching. You know, then of course Ryan does his research. So he see who I was. He's like, man, this cat been coaching for many, many years. He's been a offense, defensive coordinator. He coached every sport. He's been a head coach. Why is he coaching at the middle school? And I just taking a break. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to spend time with my family. I want to see them play, see my kids play ball, all that stuff. So, you know, pushing forward, Mike Chastain's get the job at Warner Robins. He calls my middle school principal, said, hey, man, I want to talk to Dunn about coming to Warner Robins and coach. And Jesse Davis said, man, I can't do that. I can't lose him. But if that's something he wants to do, it has to be with Hoko first, because, you know, Ryan Crawford and man, I'm losing my mind right now. At Hoko had already asked about him. So I'm gonna let them talk to him first. And man, I talked to him, and his philosophy were my philosophies. And he was like, we don't ever miss nothing with our children. So here I am. I got to go home and talk to the boss lady. She said, I know this is what you love to do. You know what I mean? So I went to Hoko, man. Man, I loved every second of it. I knew in my mind I was going to retire from Hoko. I did. You know, my wife talks about me all the time, but I get antsy at times when I'm at a job for 3 or 4 years. And you're looking for something different to do and all that. And people don't know that last year I was at Hoko, I stepped down in football and just coached in 9th grade. I was a head 9th grade coach and head basketball coach, you know, and the head track coach. So it's tough. You know, it's tough coaching all those 3 sports at that level, you know, but I felt like I wasn't fitting with football anymore. You know,
what you mean though?
Here's the biggest thing I wasn't fitting with football. Ryan Crawford, we still talk bi-weekly. We still talk every day. It was never about him. It was about, here I am on the staff, and one of my philosophies has always been, I want to work on a staff where those are my true friends. I spend most of my time with them. These are my true friends. I want to spend a lot of time with them. Our kids going to be raised up together and all that. And at that time, that wasn't happening. Very young staff. They were probably easily more communication between that staff and my sons than me. I've been coaching longer than half of them been living. You know what I mean? So I wasn't comfortable on that level. All those guys I still talk to right now, it was a professional decision. I was like, maybe it's my time to get out of here. You know? So basketball season happens, all this stuff, and I'm all over the place. You know, we sharing gym, so I got to go to Central Georgia Tech and coach basketball and try to run back and do JV. And as track season has started, I'm running out to do track.
Yeah.
So on the now it's track season, and we win region championship every year.
Yeah.
And track at Hoko, the boys, and the girls and all that. And I'm splitting. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
The whole staff on the track team never done it before. So here I am. But my brothers, Vince Lawhorn, Cornelius Lawhorn, I trust those guys with everything I have. Those guys they helping run basketball practice. I'm going to check on track. I'm coming back. I was running thin, man. And I was ready to. I'm ready to make a serious decision in my life on what do I need to do. So lose my best friend. He goes over the north side already. Rod Harris, who is now the defensive coordinator over there.
Okay.
And Coach Alligood gets the job, and I'm waiting on my time to go back to north side anyway. I want to go back to north side. That's why
saying that though, but saying you waiting on your time. You know what I'm saying? Do you think the people at Hudson County, do you think coaches was already looking at you like, man, I know he out of here?
Well, I mean,
or were you still going to work every day? Like, yo, I'm still here. I'm still coaching. I'm gonna be me.
I grind for the kids, man. And that's the biggest thing with me is everywhere I go, there gonna be kids to coach.
But with the kids, but I'm saying, but with the kids, were the adults looking at you like?
I no doubt in my mind.
He's not 100% here with us no more.
Well, that probably started when I stepped down from varsity and started coaching ninth grade. Some of that stuff that started happening then. I show up to a football practice, and the varsity is on the field practicing about to be finished, and I'm getting out the car, and all of a sudden I hear doors opening and closing, and I got parents like, Coach, what's going on? What I said, I'm coaching ninth grade, man. I got two sons in the middle school playing.
Yeah.
I want to see them play some. If I'm coaching varsity, there's a chance that I'm not gonna see them play.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because everybody was the streets. I'm just gonna say the street. Everybody was wondering about that. Like, man, how can you leave, but still come over to another school and still continue to coach?
Right.
It wasn't that you left and just like, yo, I'm just gonna chill.
Coaching is a fraternity, man. And I love all them guys at Hoko, man.
Yeah.
I ain't really have a lot in common with a bunch of 20-year-old kids. You know what I mean? They're great kids. They're great guys. They coach well. They work their butts off.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed them, but it was so much bigger than that. Then it came to a point where, all right, so let's see what we need to do with your coaching. Nah, I'm gonna see what I want to do with my coaching.
Okay.
No, but none of y'all determine what I want to do with my coaching.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do. If it's not on your page, then we need to look at that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna lose if you're smart. You don't want to lose a coaching with my experience. You don't want to lose a black coach with my experience.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, the black coach, the black side.
But you want to lose a guy like me. I ain't to my own horn, man, but I'm gonna go 1,000 for these kids.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 1,000 for them to be real human beings. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna go 1,000 on that. And it wasn't even the fact that I fell out of love with it. It was just, it was time to do something different. I've been around now. When I left Georgia Southern, I went to Statesboro High School. I left from Statesboro High School. I went to Athens and went to Clark Central High School.
Okay.
I was at Clark Central High School. We playing state championships, stuff like that. All right. I go to Elberton. I go to Elbert County, doing really well, advancing.
Yeah.
Go back to Clark Central.
Yeah.
Leave Clark Central, go to Shiloh.
Dang.
All right. Leave Shiloh.
Traveling, man.
Leave Shiloh, come back to Athens at Cedar Shoals.
Yeah.
All right. Leave Cedar Shoals. I go to Newton Middle School. That's when I kind of shut down my coaching and start spending more time with the fam. I leave there and come back home. So I moved because I want to advance in this job, but there's some other things I felt like I needed to do. I wanted to come back home. So with that, I did. I thought I was going to retire from Hoko. I did. I love the kids. I love the environment. It was a break for me though.
Is that environment different from the environment you in now?
Man, it's totally different. I tell people this. The schools I've taught and coached in, man, has been exactly where I needed to be because I needed them and they needed me. You know, and in this profession, man, if you're doing it the right way, you're gonna help pay a light bill, you're gonna help pay a rent, you're gonna help pay some of that stuff. You're gonna try to save lives every single day.
Yeah.
But that stuff wears on you, bro. For 20 minutes, I'm sitting here, I'm like, good gracious, I'm getting up at 1 o'clock in the morning because Cat done got kicked out or whatever, him and his daddy fighting.
Yeah.
I go get him, come on back to the house, whatever the case may be. And it's you just sitting here like, oh my God. And then the next day, that cat cuss you out. That same cat you done got out your bed and left your family for, the next 2 weeks later, that cat cuss you out.
Was that at Hudson County though?
None of that. It was calm. I ain't breaking up no fights. I ain't doing none of that. The environment is cool. It's clean. They had their own separate entity of problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, they respected what I did and who I was.
Yeah.
The kids, the parents, black, white, didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real with you, man. I probably had more respect from the white parents than I did black. Because they had the same problems. They may have had that dad that, they lived better, but that dad was never home. So that dad didn't teach them man things, but Coach Hudson was. I still have parents till this day from Hoko that's call me right now. They'll call me right now, Coach, I need some help with this.
Yeah.
And you see me every year, at the end of the year, I'm going to these kids' home, taking selfies with them with their graduation gowns on. You see what I'm saying? Where they going to college at.
Yeah.
Parents appreciating that. I just do that with all of them.
But by you making that transition, why did you pull your kids?
I didn't. I gave them that choice.
Ah, for real?
I said,
I thought
hey, man.
they would okay.
I said, hey, man.
You pulled them.
Y'all grew up with these kids.
Yeah.
Y'all want to go and go to Holco with your friends? Let's get it. You want to go to Perry with your mama? Because my wife is a counselor at Perry.
Okay.
That's on y'all. Without hesitation. Wherever you going, we're going.
I bet they walked in the north side. They like, man, this ain't no house guy.
And I told them that. I said,
we done walked into?
I said, here's the thing. I grew up in Vicky Lynn. You didn't.
Yeah, that's what
I lived my life the way I did, so you won't have to grow up in Vicky Lynn. You know what I mean?
Man.
I said, man, you don't know nothing about none of this stuff going on.
Yeah, you shocked them kids. I know they were shocked.
You don't know nothing about none of that. But I got smart kids, man, and
they stay out of the way.
And I have real conversations with them.
Yeah.
I don't care what it's about, bro.
Yeah.
I have real conversations with my kids about the music they listen to, about, the social media, about whatever it is. Me and my wife have real conversations with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I say, listen, Northside totally different now. It's a totally different animal.
I know.
But kids are kids.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you right now, ain't nowhere else I want to be.
How you feel about all that zoning, though, when they did all that zoning to try to match numbers up, try to match,
See, I don't.
They try to mix the.
And the thing with me on that is, I don't know what the agenda is for the zoning. You know what I mean? When I grew up,
I think the agenda is just trying to mix economic status,
and it may
economic levels with, hey, high, low, but let's mix them together. Hopefully, we get some talent from this.
Maybe so. I mean, I don't know what that really is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because everywhere I grew up, all those kids are going to Warner Robins. Well, they've been going to Warner Robins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're talking about a place where Northside and Warner Robins is. There's nowhere to grow.
Yeah.
For Northside, you can grow more towards Byron, the Eagle Springs area, stuff like that. But where's Warner Robins Park growing? Warner Robins used to have all the Kathleen. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Warner Robins still having all them cats from Kathleen? Man, you talking about they just play for 5 state championships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know how you do all that. Perry gonna be what it is. So because that's where it's growing.
Yeah.
It's growing out that way, but if those kids are still, doing what they're supposed to do, and parents are doing what they're supposed to do, there's always gonna be pride in Northside and Warner Robins, bro.
Yeah.
But it's Yeah, man. But that was all my kids, man. They made that decision all, and that was always stuff. What you gonna do about your son and Antoine? Them cats friends.
Yeah.
Me and Antoine are friends. You know what I mean? You know what? But what about quarterback? I said, man, my son's an athlete. He gonna compete. They both gonna compete. Whatever he play, he play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get the streets, all the street stuff.
Yeah.
But we all,
your name was definitely heavy in the streets.
man, and that's the thing, man. Streets ain't real.
Yeah.
Streets just talk. You know what I mean? I'm always been a guy about my source. I ain't never had an issue with me competing and doing what I need to do. I've talked to my boys and my kids. They don't have a
About how
issue
you feel.
with it.
Okay, now I'm just gonna go there now.
Mm-hmm.
You are the coach.
Yeah.
You got kids on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Do other kids talk to other coaches like, oh, Coach Hudson's son, they getting the preferential treatment.
Mm-hmm.
They already in the spot already, and they know I've been here since such and such. But now his son's coming. Or because he the coach, why his sons get to be put on the top level already, put on the highlight already.
The biggest thing with me is my sons are dogs.
True.
They've been raised that way.
True.
And they'll be the first one to tell you, my dad would dog me. My dad's gonna do. He ain't that dude. Just this Thursday, I told Coach, get him out the game. He ain't doing what he got to do. Get him out. He need to learn that lesson. Get him out of there. I've never been that guy to say, I want my son to do this. I want my son to do that. Right now, either one of my sons will come play defense right now. And probably would do it well.
Do it well, yeah.
You know what I mean? So nobody can say, if they truly know us, they truly know my sons, they truly know me, they know without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Ain't no special treatment.
Does that piss you off though, even hearing the little whispers about that stuff?
It does. We can get into all the different stuff about, what people say. Man, people gonna talk bad about you every day. Irregardless to what you can do, what you can't do.
Yeah.
I don't care about them people, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if they ain't under this roof, bro, don't matter.
True. Damn,
It don't matter. And that's how I live. That's how we live. That's how I teach them. But those rumbles hurt. They hurt, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, they hurt because you think this and that, man. But I know they fighters, bro.
Yeah, at the same time, yeah. Because they good, like you said. You got good. I mean, they are good. So
and they got options. They're gonna do what they need to do academically because I'm crazy. I'm crazy. They're gonna have to do that. And ain't no bringing no C's in here. I don't care about you being honest and it's tough. Whatever.
got
Get
bring
it
some
done.
C's in sometime,
Ain't no
man.
C's,
Come on,
bro.
man.
Ain't no C's. Ain't no C's.
That math. What about that math? That math hard, man.
I'm a math teacher of 25 years. I don't want to hear none of that. You got to get it. And it's just that, man. You got all the avenues you want. You can do it academically. You can do it in football. You can do it in baseball because they do that. They can play basketball too, but it's just too much to do all three. And if they want to do it, I'm a supporter.
Yeah.
And the best athlete in the family don't play sports. She just dance.
Yeah.
So baby girl can get it done too, man. But I'm just gonna support my kids, man. I want them to be better than me.
What if she don't want to go to Northside, Hudson, kind of none of that? What if she want to go to private school?
You can go wherever she want to. Right now, we've been praying about her going to performing arts because she's a phenomenal dancer, man. And just not because she's my daughter, but I see her dance and cry on the spot. Dang. You know what I mean? She's that talented.
Dang.
But she's played softball. She's played basketball. Just right now, her stuff is dance.
So you ain't forcing sports?
I ain't forcing nothing.
Okay.
No. Whatever they want to do, man, they can do. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I ain't gonna force them to do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, DJ broke his leg in that spring game. Mm-hmm. It was brutal. You see it. The kid come across, kick him right on top of the knee, breaks it instantly, snap, boom.
Dang.
And he's on the table with orthopedic, and I'm saying, man. Because this year, this travel baseball season was his season, man. He getting letters from everywhere. He's showcasing because he's one of the top teams in the nation. And I'm like, man, you about to explode with this baseball thing. What'd you think? I'll be back. What? You good with football, coach?
Still want to play football.
He's like, Uncle Johnny Parker, one of my good friends.
Yeah.
broke his leg in middle school. And came back. It was the fastest thing in the whole county. That was the first thing he said. He said, Uncle Johnny broke his leg. He came back bigger and better.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same thing. Without hesitation, So it's whatever they want to do, man. I'm going to support that.
I like how you push him toward baseball a little bit. Would you push him toward baseball more?
I would. I mean, just it was an opportunity that I messed up. I had a chance to play baseball at Georgia Southern, dual scholarship, but I'm fighting for a star position in football, so I came in spring to play baseball. So, but I don't want them to miss out on those opportunities.
Yeah.
And, both of them say Deion Sanders did it. You know what I mean? So, they always got that fallback on whatever, but, they're not, you get it all the time, man. They're such good baseball players. Why don't you stop them from playing?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to stop. They don't want to stop.
Speaking of primetime, Deion Sanders, how you feel about HBCU, black colleges? Like, what if your son's got some offers from, per se, black colleges?
Whatever the best fit for them, bro. It ain't no.
But black colleges don't turn out pros, though.
The ones who go to black colleges and become pros, that was their destiny anyway. I mean, I think if you're good enough, regardless of where you're going, if that's supposed to be what happens, it's gonna happen. And HBCU is about to explode now because of Deion Sanders. He's an advocate for them, and people. I playing at Georgia Southern. We played the FAMs and we played Savannah States, and them cats be on the field calling you Uncle Tom. I was like, man, Georgia Southern paying for every single one of my classes, meals, everything.
Yeah.
I don't remember y'all even talking to me. So I'm going to Georgia Southern because it's free.
Yeah.
And we won 2 national championships.
Yeah.
And when we play y'all, we beat y'all 60-0. You know what I mean? So it was never one of those kind of things. If a HBCU would have came in and offered me and it was a good situation for me, I'd have went to the HBCU. It wasn't an issue between a predominantly white institution or a HBCU. I was gonna go with the best fit for me. Man, in high school, South Carolina picked me up on a private jet in Macon.
That's some of that illegal stuff we're talking about.
Saying? I mean, all of the, it was 3 or 4 recruits. That's how they got us to our visitation. And I got on campus and I was like, man, it's too big for me.
Wow. Yeah.
That was it was too big for me. And I was like, I ain't know anything about fraternities and sororities, and they ooping and stepping and A5 and all this stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, man, these folk crazy, man. I need to go I needed a smaller setting. And I chose Georgia Southern because of that. But I ain't no doubt in my mind if Eddie Robinson would have offered me a scholarship, I'm going to Grambling.
Grambling,
You know what I mean? I ain't no doubt about that, man. Something like that. But, I just think it's the best fit for the individual, man. I don't think, so, and some people going to push, you need to go to a historically black college and all that and all this and that. And, man, if that's for you, let's get it. I got a nephew playing right now for Southern University. I mean, a little cousin playing for Southern University right now. So, man, it's whatever your fit is.
Yeah. What's next though? What's after this? What's after this football season? Hopefully we win the championship.
Right.
I say we because I'm Northside with you.
That's right.
Hopefully we win the championship. What's next though? Like next couple years? Like is it you still gonna be coaching forever?
I am, man. I got
coach long enough to get your kids through high school and then
this is my 30th year, man. I mean, after this year I can retire, man, but I'm 52 years old and I got 2 sons in high school and I'm definitely gonna coach them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay there and coach them. And after that, man, wherever God leads me, I know, to be honest, as long as I can physically walk through them doors, man, and teach kids and coach kids, I'll do it. Okay. I mean, I just felt like God blessed me to be able to do that at a high level, man. I love it, man. I love it when I get text messages, Dylan, my wife, dad passed away a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And them kids, if I'm missing, them kids be like, "Cole, what's up? You good?"
Hey, that's good.
I mean, you getting those text messages. We praying for you because we love you, man. All that stuff. You get, John Teo just
Yeah,
we just buried him.
Spoke about him earlier.
You know, send you a text message, Coach. Thank you for helping save my life.
Yeah.
I graduated, and I'm trying to do this, and that because of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just one of those
part.
things,
That's what I was trying to
man,
say earlier to you.
Yeah.
Like, does that matter that they dress up
It does.
during the week and this and that, like that stuff?
It does.
You know, you hope that stuff carry on.
And that's our motto this year at Northside. It matters.
Okay.
And
I like that.
And those small things do matter, man. You know, it matters to the community.
Yeah.
You know, when the community sees on Facebook that, you know, they're teaching the Northside football players how to change oil, how to change a tire.
I seen that.
You know, before we started doing all this, man, we during the summer we taught our kids about financial literacy. And that's missing, especially in our black community.
Yeah, definitely.
And I talked to my sons about that. I got one that, you know, he probably, I don't tell how much money he got. And I got another one. He's trying to spend it as soon as he get it. You know what I mean? So, and they live in the same household.
Yeah.
I mean, so teaching those small things, man, may make a difference.
Yeah.
In those kids. I mean, just imagine that kid that works at Walmart and he makes $300-400 every 2 weeks. That kid saves half of that check.
Yeah.
And continue to do that.
Continue to do it, yeah.
Can you imagine how that kid's gonna live later? You know what I mean? Just simple stuff like that, it may click on them. Or
that's so hard though, man. It's hard in our community, man. I know that's a whole nother show.
Man.
That's a whole nother show for me, but yeah, that's hard for our community.
I mean, our kids struggle with dressing up, man. We tell them no jeans. I don't have jeans. We got a closet. We got a closet at Northside that people been donating. We got khakis. We got full suits, bro.
Yeah.
People are bringing full suits. They're not just, you know, bringing them from their used stuff. They're going to buy them to bring up there because they like what we're doing with that.
Yeah.
And we're trying to teach our kids, man, you got to be able to transform, man. I told I got a younger brother, to Michael. You know, we talk about, he lived his life. He, got in some trouble here and there. He go to court. You know, what if you got to go to court? You're going to go and you're going to let them sagging jeans be your determining factor?
Nah, definitely.
Man, get some khakis. Get some khakis, get your white shirt, get your tie. If that's the only one you got, transform it to that person. And that's what we teach these kids, man. You got to be able to transform.
Yeah.
I don't care about you a thug. You grew up on here and you grew up there and that ain't being real. And life is
Did
real.
you have to do that at Hudson County? Did y'all do that?
I did.
Life thing.
I did some transformation things. I mean, like when my basketball program, when we came in there with them Carnegie sweaters on, bro.
Yeah. I like them.
I mean, the first time we did it was at Veterans, and Veterans principal came to me and said, "I don't know what you got going on, but I like that."
Yeah.
It gave a whole nother perspective on stuff, man. Just how they looked. You know, and people can say what they want to, man, but first impressions are first impressions.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That person's going to judge you regardless eventually, but
true.
But even if I'm a clean dude and I'm solid, but I look crazy, I'm going to be judged crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think you got to be all those people.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ain't tell you I grew up from Vicky Lynn, you may not have known that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you dealt me in a certain situation, you're going to know I've done that. You know, I mean, I'm born and raised from Alabama, man. I grew up, from Mobile, but I'm really from Pritchard. And it's realer than real. It's realer than real right there, you know, and
that sound real.
And I'm not that.
And it wasn't named Pritchard. That sound like
man.
some crazy stuff.
That's my fam, man. That's what both of my parents, had some ties there and stuff, man. And but man, we can transform, man. We got to as a people to do what we need to do. We are brilliant people, man, and I try to instill that in these. Last year, man, it wasn't the boys. Last year, my first year at Northside, it was about them females, man. I was like, man, what's going on with these girls? You know what I mean? They fighting every single day.
Girls fight more than boys sometimes.
Every day, bro. It's about something that happened in the neighborhood, and they coming in with pajamas and bonnets on. Man, I wasn't feeling none of that, bro. I was like, I'm gonna get fired because I'm gonna just start snatching bonnets. I'm gonna start snatching bonnets off, man. And and for some reason
Them long braids down to their hamstring.
I'll tell them in a minute. How many times you sat on your hair today?
I'm telling.
But that don't define them. I don't want them to think that defines them. It wasn't that kind of thing, man. But just the attitude,
just to clean it up.
And when I finally looked at it all, man, they never saw a male perspective because dad wasn't there or uncle wasn't there. You know, mama wasn't even there because she's working to try to support them. So, like right now, man, those girls will come to me and coach this and that. Boyfriend acting a fool. We gonna have a real conversation.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, so it was just them, man. And right now it's just our community, bro. We grew up. The States was the place to be.
Yeah.
You know, and now they want to denounce the States as, you know, just this bad place, man, and just,
I hate that too, man.
Wherever poverty is, man, there's some stuff that's gonna be with it, man, and just, I just want those kids to get out and wander around and see stuff.
True.
We took our DBs to Top Golf in Atlanta a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, we just try to every one of our coaches do something with their kids outside of who they are. Yeah. You know, they take them to their homes. I bring those kids. That deck in the back of my house because my son's gonna be at home. Mm-hmm. You know, and those kids come here. Yeah. I mean, it ain't nothing for my son to have 4 blow-up mattresses around his bed in that room, and I got 6, 7 kids here. I mean, it's just I want them to know it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done.
It can be done, for sure.
But man, I appreciate you, man.
Man, nothing, man.
This was big for me to come in and talk to you, man. You're such a good leader out there, good father, good husband. Just keep pushing.
Got to, man. I mean,
keep pushing and, keep, because people are listening. Yeah. People listening, people watching what you're doing. Right. So,
and that helps me, man. It's a great platform. Number one, to be able to speak on stuff, man, but it holds me accountable. You know what I mean? When people see and hear you doing this and that, if I go out there and do something stupid, it shames you. It shames your name. Yeah. And so it holds me accountable. And I gotta try to do these things, man, because I want to be that guy that my daughter wants to marry. I want to be that guy that my sons want to be. You know what I mean? If I'm out there doing stupid stuff, man, it doesn't sit well. Okay. And I ain't saying I'm perfect. I done messed it up several times. Yeah. And I've learned from that. I've learned from that too. And you learn from that stuff, man. It makes you better, man. And that's what it is, man. I got a great wife. She makes me better. I got great kids. They make me better. And it's one of those things, man. We just got to continue to grind, man. And we just got to go from one house to the next, man, and make it better. And it is, man. I've learned from every lesson, man, and coaching. Yeah. Man, it's been some great seasons, been some really bad seasons, man, and I've learned from all of them, So
man, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
You're gonna be all right. But I appreciate it, man.
Man, it's a blessing, man.
What everybody call you? They call you coach, they call you mister, what they call you?
Man, I get coach. My wife called me Sebastian. You know what I mean?
Early.
My boys call me Pops.
Pops.
Pop Dukes. But yeah, man. A lot of people in the community call me D Hud. But the kids call me Coach Hud and Coach Hudson, stuff like that, man. And as long as they call me, bro, I'm good.
You got a lot of people watching you, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people watching you.
I'm trying to lead them the right way, man. Yeah, I'm trying my hardest to.
Sure. Your Facebook be popping too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I do that, man. I got so many family. I got so many family members, man. That's not around. My pops, man, in Mobile, man, and just I put a lot of that stuff on Facebook because I want to know what I'm doing.
Know what you're doing.
And I'm on there because I want to know what they're doing. I got kids that play in the NFL. I got kids that's, that brand new fathers, and if I can put a Facebook post up to make them think about something they're doing, man, I'm gonna do it. And I know you got some people probably say, man, you post too much.
Nah, man.
This ain't for you then, bro.
Yeah. It ain't for you.
This ain't for you. Just keep strolling, you know what I mean? So
hopefully they listen to this episode.
I hope so, man.
Social Headache Podcast. You catch me on YouTube. Hey, man, it's extraordinary guest today.
I appreciate you, man.
And later.
Y'all be good.
Good episode, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, brother.